Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Good to see you all here. Happy 2025 from us at Pax8 to you, all the partners out there. We are really excited to continue the Pax8 Microsoft monthly updates. Let's go through what are we going to see today. Quick round of introductions, nothing too crazy. We will hit off with myself. If I've not gotten to meet you, my name is Kristen Fehrenbach. I'm the Senior Director of Microsoft Go-to-Market here at Pax8. We're going to go through some programs with Ashley, followed by we've got enablement from Vandit. Deanna, it's that moment of that NCE renewal. So what does that mean for you as a partner? Make sure you stick around for that session. Last but not least, Urvashi and Chris, we've got a really cool little segment that we are going to continue to include that is all about the Pax8 marketplace. So make sure you stay tuned. I know we get this question a lot. So let's hit on a few housekeeping rules before we pass it over to Ashley. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. We've got a big team in the background to make sure that we are answering those along the way. Or I might jump in depending on if, super get a ton of those at the same time, all of that. So we'll see how that goes. So stay tuned, make sure to throw in all your questions. And then if you're not able to stay for the whole thing, please know that this is going to be available as a recording on YouTube later. But from there, I'm going to pass it over to Ashley. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks, Kristen. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope it's off to a fantastic start. And with it being a new year, obviously there are some things that Pax8 would like to point out to have you focus on to ensure that you are going to market, understanding the latest program updates when it comes to Microsoft, and you're able to continue to build your business throughout 2025. So with that, let's jump right on in. And so this is just a reminder. We always put it first in the program updates because it is super important to understand Microsoft policy on data quality. And so, again, this has been kind of around for a while, but we're seeing it come up more and more as we continue to progress in the timeline. And so just want you to be aware that Microsoft at any time reserves the right to audit your partner center information and subject you as the partner to a verification or business vetting process. And so with that, Microsoft will prompt you to complete the verification in order to keep your CSP enrollment. Additionally, any change that you make to your partner center information will also trigger a verification process and will again prompt you to complete the audit in order to keep your CSP program enrollment. So that's your Microsoft partner enrollment. So we want to call out and make sure that everybody is aware that they need to be in Partner Center and they need to be checking the Notification Center and Partner Center on a regular basis. Your global admin should be able to log in and check the Action Center. And then if you don't have your Action Center notification set up to your email, your global admin can go ahead and do that as well. So you're receiving those notifications via email as well. And again, this is super important because if you miss your selection for verification and you do not complete it within the 30 days that Microsoft gives you, they can offboard you from the CSP program, meaning that they will take away your membership and that you will no longer be able to transact Microsoft through your CSP enrollment. And so we don't want to freak you guys out. We just want to make sure you're aware of this so that way you can stay on top of it. Schedule Partner Center reviews with your account team. They would be able to help you and show you through where to find those notifications, what the Action Center is, and how to log your email so that way you're getting those notifications to your inbox. And that way you can do this on a regular basis and you can stay up to date with your Partner Center and ensure that you're not being selected for a verification. If you have any questions about the verifications or you get selected, please know this is between you and Microsoft. So if you have any questions that you need answered, you would need to open a Partner Center support ticket directly with Microsoft. Pax8 cannot help you due to compliance. So again, if you have any questions, go ahead and open that support ticket directly with Microsoft. But with that, let's move on to some of the more new things that we want you guys to be aware of. So we've been talking about this as well, but it's happening this month, so we want to make sure you're aware. The last day to purchase your legacy benefits is January 21st, 2025. These are your benefits like your silver, your gold, your action pack, things that give you access to licensing and incentives and rebates. Microsoft is going away with the legacy benefit offerings and moving to what are called success expansion packs as well as solution designations. So if you need to continue to get those licenses for your internal use rights or want to continue to earn incentives and rebates, you need to migrate to the appropriate program when it comes time for your renewal after January 21st. So if you renew before January 21st, you're good for another 12 months. But if your renewal happens after January 21st, you will need to migrate to a new offering in order to keep those internal use rights licenses and your incentives and rebates. I see a question popped in the chat. How long will our Legacy Silver partnership be good for? Again, when you purchase that, it's good for 12 months. So if you have renewed recently, it's good from 12 months from that date. If you renew before January 21st, good from 12 months from that date. If you come up for renewal after January 21st, so say your renewal is in March, you will need to move to either a success benefits package, one of the new partner benefits packages, or a solution designation. But great question. Thank you. If we can go on and move to the next slide, Ace, that would be great. So what is kind of changing with the benefits by moving from a legacy benefits to one of the new benefits packages? So you can see you're going to get access to different IURs. Some of them include Copilot. I know it's a big thing that you guys all want to try out Copilot before actually purchasing it or have something to use to show partners. So that is something that's coming. And then additionally, if you want to earn incentives and rebates, you need to be on the solution partner designation. And that's the only way that you will earn your incentives and rebates starting after January 21st. And if we can go to the next one. And then this is kind of the updates as far as IURs. So you can see there's 3 different partner success benefits packages. You have your launch benefits, you have your core benefits, and you have your expanded benefits. So these are separate than a solution designation. If you don't qualify for a solution designation, you could purchase one of these. They are at different price points, and they do, just like the silver and the gold, they do have that same model. The higher the package, the more that you receive. So your partner launch benefits are going to be the most inexpensive, versus your success expanded pack would be your most expensive. And again, with that, you're getting different benefits from it. I will just want to point out that if you are moving to a partner success package, you will not earn incentives and rebates. The only way to earn incentives and rebates is going to be by moving to a solution partner designation. So want to be very clear about that. But you go ahead and screen snip this if you want. This will lay out all the different licenses you get for your IURs. We're not going to dive through all of them today, but just want to call out that there are 3 different packages for you if you don't qualify for a solution partner designation. And this is what you get with each of those offerings. All right, so on to our next update. This is around making sure that you are adopting the best security posture that you can right now for your end customers. So the first one is MFA. So MFA will be required for all users accessing the M365 Admin Center starting next month. So 2 short weeks from now, if you have somebody who accesses the M365 Admin Center, whether that's for you as a partner or for your customer, they will need to have MFA enabled. And this follows the MFA enabled policies that we saw for Azure back late last year in 2024. So again, all cloud workloads are now going to require MFA, and this is to ensure that if you do have a threat actor, that you are providing that additional layer of security to prevent any unwanted usage or spend in the tenants of your customer. So again, MFA, we've been talking about it. It's quite the standard now. And if your customers are not on MFA, anybody who accesses the Azure portal or the M365 Admin Center will need to have that enabled. Additionally, again, to ensure that we're not having threat actors access subscriptions in Azure and running up spend, unwanted spend, expensive spend, Microsoft will be removing Azure subscriptions that have been no activity or no consumption for more than 12 months. And so this has already started to happen, but we want to make sure that you're aware of it and that Microsoft's going to go ahead and close those subscriptions for you because they are trying to ensure that you are being the most protected and not being vulnerable to threat actors. If you do need a new Azure subscription for some reason, you can go ahead and order a new Azure plan. It's a $0 SKU, and then that will unlock the consumption in the partner tenants or customer tenants, depending on where the Azure subscription lived. All right. Okay, and then we're going to jump into some pricing and product updates next. So the first one is around NCE annual paid monthly model. So at the end of last year, Microsoft did announce that they were changing the pricing structure for annual paid monthly subscriptions. So remember, at NCE, you can have annual paid upfront, annual paid monthly, or month to month. So this is that middle one, the annual paid monthly. Starting April 1st, 2025, for new subscriptions, there will be a 5% price adjustment, meaning the annual paid monthly will be 5% more expensive than the annual paid upfront. When you go ahead and purchase. And then if you have a subscription that is already on annual paid monthly and it is coming up for renewal, when it hits that renewal date after April 1st, then you will go ahead and see that 5% price adjustment. So if you're purchasing something new on April 1st, you'll see it right away. Say you have a subscription that renews on April 15th, you will then see that 5% premium for the annual paid monthly on April 15th. So again, no changes to existing subscriptions until they renew, but this will be active for all new purchases, new subscriptions on April 1st. And again, month to month subscriptions will not be impacted. They will still see their current 20% premium. So that will not have any pricing changes. It's just on the annual paid monthly. All right, so we also have some changes to Teams Phone and Power BI offerings. So again, starting April 1st, so same date as the 5% premium, Teams Phone standard licenses will increase in price. Power BI Pro licenses will also increase in price, and Power BI Premium will also increase in price. These 3 products will increase at price for new orders on April 1st, and then if you have existing subscriptions of these, those existing subscriptions will not see the price increase until their renewal. So again, you purchase on April 1st, brand new subscription, you would see the price increase. If you have something in flight that is renewing, say April 15th, you would see the price adjustment on April 15th. Just also know that these prices are in USD. Microsoft has not released pricing yet for all of their currencies, but no, it will be similar pricing, right, with the FX adjustment. So we'll have more finalized pricing closer to April 1st. So just want to call that out if you're in other regions, but it would be right now the equivalent of what the USD price is in your currency. So I see a question in the chat around most of this person has a lot of their customer subscriptions renewing before April 1st. So in February, for example, if that's the case, if you're renewing before April 1st, you will be price locked for another 12 months and your subscriptions will not see the price increase at the renewal until a renewal event after April 1st, 2025. So that would be in this example, April 1st, 2026. And then there was a question on the previous slide, April onwards, annual commitment with monthly prices will increase 5%. Yeah, so that annual paid monthly, annual commitment paid monthly, we'll see a price increase of 5%. Great questions in the chat, keep them coming. But we can go ahead and move forward. And then, okay, so this is also one, I don't necessarily know that it applies to all of our MSPs out there, but we do want to make sure that you are aware of this. And so January 27, 2025, Microsoft is changing their policies for unlicensed OneDrive. If you're purchasing OneDrive through a M365 or business license, right, those are going to be licensed OneDrive. These are for those free OneDrive accounts that live out in the ecosphere. If you have a customer that has an unlicensed OneDrive, they are no longer going to be free. There's going to be a charge for those unlicensed OneDrive accounts, and just know that Microsoft will be implementing those fees, small minimal fees, but we do want to call out that if you have a customer who has unlicensed OneDrive, we should be moving them to a licensed OneDrive account, so that way you can have the retention policies set on those. You can ensure that they're not incurring added costs. And we just want to make sure that you're aware of this because it's coming at the end of the month, and we don't want your customers to be surprised by new fees that are not imposed by you as the MSP. If you have any questions about this, reach out to your account team. They can walk you through it more. We also included this in the newsletter, so if you want to read up on it a little bit more and a link to the Microsoft article, you can find that in our newsletter. All right, this is a really exciting one. We've been working on this for a really long time. This is a PAX 8 update, not a Microsoft update, but PAX 8 has gone GA for Dynamics 3-year commitments, meaning if you are a MSP who sells Dynamics to your end customers, you now can purchase a 3-year commitment in our marketplace. But please note that the 3-year commitments for eligible products will only have an upfront billing term and an annual billing term, meaning you're only allowed to either choose a billing option where all 36 months are paid up front, or you can pay in 3 installments, 12 months or 1 year at a time. We are not offering month-to-month billing commitments, or sorry, billing terms for these commitments at this moment. It is only going to be the upfront payment or the every 12-month payment. If you want to purchase this, you can go ahead and do so today in our marketplace. Again, no more having to reach out to your account team for special approval for this. But do know if you are a partner who likes to offer the bridge to cloud promotion, you must still work with your account team to get that provision, because the bridge to cloud promotion is a manual promotion that has to be applied in Partner Center. It is not run through API through our marketplace, meaning we would not be able to offer it just through normal provisioning, and that is a Microsoft ordering way, not a PAX 8 ordering way. So if you are wanting to take advantage of Bridge to Cloud, please still work with your account team like you've done previously. And then we've talked a lot about some pricing changes, new offerings, etc. But this is a really exciting one. This is a promotional offer. So these are offers that are available in market today for you to go and acquire new customers and upsell existing customers, and a little incentive to do so. As you can see, there's a lot of promotions and offers on the slide. So again, I would highlight just snipping it so that way you have it for later. And all of these offers can also be found in the Microsoft Global Promo Readiness Guide as well, and we can drop that into the chat here. But no, there is a There are some promotional offers for E3. There's promotional offers for E5, both which are giving you 15% off an annual term for new customers. So again, if they're purchasing, maybe business premium and you want to move to those advanced security options and they're outgrowing the 300 seat maximum, these are great promotions to move your customers to. Again, 15% off, and that's for the entire 12 months. So you're locking in that price. And then there is some promotional opportunities for Copilot as well. Net new seats earn 15% off if you purchase 10 or more in the initial order. So again, that gives that price break for Copilot to be a little bit cheaper. And then also Copilot does have that annual paid monthly option now. So it also makes the price point a little bit more digestible for some customers. There's also and I'm not sure I see it on this slide, but there is a business premium offer for North America only for new business premium customers. They also can receive 15% off. So again, a lot of 15% off promos to get you to move to a security focused product and to get you AI ready for Copilot with the Copilot promotion. So we can again go and move to the next one, but these are great opportunities to get you and your customers started. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Deanna. I see that there's a couple of questions in the chat, so while Deanna is presenting, I'll go ahead and answer those. Thanks for sending those in, but Deanna, over to you to talk about Q1 renewals.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ashley. And I just make sure I see the word live next to my name, and it is here. So hello, everyone, and good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. It's my pleasure to be here with you today. If we never met before, my name is Deanna Haqqi. I am the program manager here at Pax8 for Modern Work and Copilot. And in the coming 15-20 minutes, we're really discussing with you the renewals. And we call it here like it's the renewal quarter for our MSPs, for Microsoft, for Pax8, just because the number of renewals that are happening in this quarter is almost like 50%. Like we talk about 45% of the NCE seats renewing in this quarter. And with the starting of 2025, there are so many important stuff that are happening. Like Ashley spoke to the MyCPP, the renewal of the incentive and rebate and all these changes that are happening, the price change, and definitely renewal is going to be one of the other topics that we want to work with you throughout this process to help you in any way possible to capture these renewals on time, help you with strategies that can help you make sure that we maximize renewals, upsell opportunities where we see an opportunity to upsell. It's the right solution for the customer, and also to drive growth and customer satisfaction. And if you attend any of Microsoft events in the past quarter or even Pax8, you will see us talking about renewals a lot. Just because, as I said, it's very important that we connect with our customers really minimum 90 days in advance, just because some renewals and some upsell may take up to 90 days to do all this. Yeah, I know, I see AC, you're refreshing the slides just to make sure we have the latest slides. But anyways, we're here. So just to make sure that we capture any upsell, any changes, anything that we can help our customers at this renewal moment. Another thing is I wanna mention is, as we all know, retaining customers is up to 7 times cheaper than acquiring new customers. And I believe this is well known in every industry and everywhere, but I wanted to highlight it here because, as I said, capturing renewals, talking to partners, to you, and talking to your customers in the right time is definitely key when it comes to helping them with the right solution. So if you go to the next slide, please, when we're gonna really look here at priorities, who we wanted to look at when it comes to like if I am an MSP and I'm like, okay, where do I start with? Like, let's start with, again, this is our suggestion, and this is where we can work with you also to help, is to work with customers with high propensity, meaning that customers that want to do upgrade and they were waiting for the renewal, customers that will need security and productivity, and who doesn't, right? In the SMB and SMC segment, like most of us, we hear about all the cybersecurity attack and everything that's happening now. So I would say, like, definitely talking to most of our customers in terms of like upselling to a premium SKU that can provide them with just out of the box security solutions, and then attaching Copilot, because I've seen, honestly, like when I talk to MSPs like yourself, I've seen customers that they have so many licenses, but they do not have any Copilot. And I'm not wondering, like, what's going on here? Either the customer is using another AI which is unsecure, and it does not talk to the current Microsoft licenses that they have, or like they're not really interested. But I would say I doubt that, because most customers now, if they're not using Copilot, they're using something else. So I would say, like, really to look at our like our customers, like together, like the priorities, to look at the high propensity, look at the ones that really wants to upgrade, expand, attach product. Can be Copilot, can be any other security solutions. The second one is ensuring on-time renewals. And the reason we want to talk about this one here is AIs that so many of them are not secure. So many of them, they will not talk to your Microsoft CFAP solution that you already sold to your customers. They will not have promos, they will not have incentive to you. So I would say, like, really attaching a solution that can help these customers and can help us to provide the right solution for them. It's key. So one, we said secure on time. Second, we said attaching Microsoft 365 Copilot. The third one I want to say here is upsell to premium. And I'd say, like, sometimes we use terms and we think that's just well known, but the premium, what we mean here is business premium, E3 and E5. And why is that? Why we keep saying, like, hey, make sure if there's potential, if there's like a need for these premium SKUs to propose it to your customers, is because they will include security, they will include management solutions, they will include the governance solution, it will include productivity. So really everything that this customer will need, and you can attach your services to it. You as MSPs, you can attach the services you can provide them by setting up the right security in place, by offering training for them. There is like huge potential for MSPs like yourself to really attach services with every step here that I mentioned in the strategy. The last one, again, I feel like this slide is really talking Copilot, but it's Copilot again. Get ready for Copilot, just because we know everybody's going to use it, but it's just about timing and about just being ready for that. And I know that I heard from so many partners when I meet you in events and in person. I heard from you, so many of you were saying, yeah, but I'm not sure about security. I'm not sure about this one. There is so much uncertainty here. Like, we're not certain about so many things. But what I would say is, once you get it right, once you understand it, and you know that there are features and tools that can help you to make sure like you can deploy Copilot to your customers with the peace of mind, it's just going to be natural for you to just position the right solution to them. And these are the 4 really just top opportunities I wanted to mention to you here. I'm sure there are so many other ones that can come to your mind. And if you want to just throw in the chat and share with us a couple of ideas that you think that would be also appreciated. If we go to the next slide, Ace, as well, and look at, we say 90 days, right? And when we say 90 days, it's really, I want to divide it here to multiple, like three buckets. So if I say 90 days, we're talking about planning and priority, who to go after. And as I said, we can help you either when you talk to your PSCs or you talk to your channel account manager. They can help you with this data. If you don't have access to it, they will help you to see where you can find it. Either, for example, just top of mind, Lighthouse Sales Advisory, and Class Data, Cloud Ascent, that I'm going to mention later. I'm going to show you this last slide about it later. But for now, I would say, look at your customers, look at the customers that have renewals now. And remember, Copilot was launched January 2024, so it's already a year. So it's a time for renewal for Copilot as well. So make sure we don't lose customers. Make sure they do adopt these solutions. And so, as I said, starting with planning, look at the customers. We help you if you cannot find this list somewhere. We can help you with working with you on the Sales Advisory and Class Data. Second, this is something we also do here at Pax8, is help your sales team. What we mean by that, like prepare template, prepare resources for them where they can just go capture it and send it to their customers prior or even after having this conversation with them. And then the second thing I want to highlight here is about engaging. Engage with customers, engage with resources, send them a campaign that will prepare them, like include them in campaigns, include them in some type of go-to-market activities that can prepare them. When we go to the go-to-market slide, I'm going to share a couple of programs that are available for you right now, but I would say really start this discussion in advance with your customers. And then the last thing here, remember the incentive, remember the promos. There are the promos that Ashley spoke about earlier today, and definitely it will help you and it will help the customers with any of this conversation in terms of you're talking about upsell or renewing on time or attaching a new solution or other solution that the customer may need. So this is kind of like really building a ready plan for you. You can just take it, adopt it, and use it when you wanna like talk renewals to your customers. And if you go to the next slide, I will just share with you here an upsell opportunity example. So honestly, because we are talking SMB, the first thing comes to my mind is Business Premium, but definitely this will apply to E3 and E5. So one is looking at what do I want to, who are the customers that I want to work with? Let's say customers that they have Business Central or Business Basic. And then I'm saying, all right, these customers, they need more productivity, more security. If I think about Business Premium, this is the message I want to go to them with. So I will go with a message around security, about the availability of this capability that is just out of the box included in this solution. And then the last one is definitely leveraging the promo that's available. Ashley mentioned there's 50% off for Business Premium for new customers up to 300 seats. And this is, by the way, it's in US and Canada only for the Business Premium. The other promotions are available worldwide, but definitely leverage the promotions that are available for your customers and for yourself to just drive this conversation when it's the right time with these customers. And if we go also to the next slide, please, Ace. This is where I want to share with you the Class Data. So I'm not sure how many of you is familiar with Class Data and how much you leveraged it, but Class Data is really working on collecting data from so many resources, from what the customer is accessing online to what's the purchase history, to so many resources. It captured all these insights and information and provided to you in an Excel sheet. And it's ready for you to download from Partner Center. If you did not look at it before, or you do not know where to go to grab it, access it, definitely work with your partner productivity solution consultant, PSCs here at Pax8, or your channel account manager. They are expert in just showing you where you can get the data and then how to understand the data. There is like Act Now, there is like potential for go-to-market activities for a campaign. There are multiple things really included in Class Data. It will be amiss if you really didn't go and check these data. And in case you need more support, we are here to help you to get the data you need to start talking renewals to your customers. So if we look at the next slides, you will see a little bit like a couple of resources that I want to highlight in terms of the go-to-market approach that is available for you through Pax8. once you want to start building some programs or campaigns around it. We spoke like just a few minutes ago, we spoke about 90 days plan, and this is the attaching the go-to-market resources to these 90 days plans, between planning to engaging to closing deals. Planning, definitely there are resources, go-to-market resources between class data that I just mentioned to you, trainings that are available for you and for you to deliver to your customers. And then there is really, I'm not sure if anyone from my colleagues is gonna drop this link to the renewal toolkit, but if not, I'll drop it after I finish presenting. It's ready slides and ready Word documents that you can resend to your customers, like templates that include why upselling to higher SKUs, and why security, and why renewing on time. All these resources available for you to just reuse and leverage for your campaigns. So one, as I said, like planning the 90 days in advance. Second, engaging. One of these resources available for you here that I really want to talk about is the CSP briefing. If you have not participated in any of the CSP briefing, you're leaving money on the table. Why I'm saying that is because anyways, most of you're delivering webinars, event to your customers. So why not delivering it and earning money? So I would say CSP briefing, we still have room to nominate more partners to be part of it until end of January, beginning February. After that, the program will be like capped to the max. So CSP briefing is a program that you will be nominated to if you reach out to your PSC or CAM. You can be nominated. How it works is we work with Microsoft to assign sessions for you, and these sessions where you can take materials, go to deliver it as a webinar or event to your customers around Copilot or around Business Premium, and you earn incentive by doing that. So if you want a presentation around it, reach out to your CAM. Definitely we can talk to you more about it. And more materials here to help you with the engaging phase is solution play assets. One of them is Business Premium Playbook. Another one is Business Case Builder, case studies that can help you take this conversation with your customers, either they are an SMB, SMC, or different in different segments. The last one is a promotion. Again, I think we spoke so many times now about the promotions. Make sure you use it. Make sure that you are aware about what's in it for you, right? The promotions, the incentive, the higher SKUs, the premium SKUs you sell, the incentive you may earn. And then last one is some of the CSP deployment resources available for you to help with closing the deals. With that, I will move to the next slide, please, Ace. And really highlight here the promos that personally think you have to leverage it because it's key and it's not going to last forever. For example, the Business Premium. I've never seen this promotion from Microsoft before, the 15% off for, I don't know if you have seen it before, but I've never, and I've been working with Microsoft for more than 10 years now with talking Microsoft. So I would say Business Premium 15% off on an annual term, up to 300 seats. This is definitely something that you can look at. Minimum 10 seats. Another one is the Copilot. Also, it's still available. I'm going to talk about it in the next slide. But then E3 and E5 for new customers. All these promotions, if you have any doubt around it, questions, you're not sure, we can help you leveraging it to drive upsell and drive renewing on time during this quarter, even after that. So if we go to the next slide, I'm going to share with you the program that is available right now. One program is the Pax8 partner rebate. The other one is the promotion for Copilot. These two, they got the extension, they received the extension. But the first one, which is Pax8 rebate, it's extended till January 31st. And just a reminder, to be eligible for this one, you have to opt in, sign up for this program in the link that's mentioned here at the bottom right under enroll in this form. you have to sign up for it to be eligible for it. It's just a form, you opt in and you're part of it. And then this rebate program, you receive 1 month free for qualifying Copilot purchase. When you purchase seat for 1 year, which is what's available now for Copilot, but regardless of the billing, monthly billing or annual billing, you're good. And then the other thing is to keep in mind is only the initial purchase is the one that will receive this rebate. The second one is the Copilot promotion, also got the extension, but this one only until March 31st. And that's why I keep telling you that some things that do not last forever. Just take advantage of that there are these promos can help with this adoption. So the Microsoft promotion is also extended till March 31st, minimum 10 seats. And same as the first one, it's like monthly billing or annual billing, both will work for you. So what will come with these two promotions? Also some materials that can help you to go to market with PowerPoints, with ready materials for you to customize and reshare or leverage with your campaigns, and some enablement programs that Vandit is going to talk to you about. But with that, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. If there are any questions, I'm going to look at here either in the chat, or if there are any questions I can answer live, I'm here to help. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to look at the chat in a second, but I pass it to you, Vandit, because you have exciting enablement update that you can share with us. And again, thank you, everyone, for being with us today.
Thanks, Deanna. Thanks so much. Also, would love to thank everybody for joining us. I'm so looking forward to an exciting year ahead with everyone here. It's really great. Now we're in 2025, we're re-upping our enablement calendar for the year. And what's really nice is we're redefining what it means to enable success here at Pax 8. And 2025 is set to be a groundbreaking year as we elevate our enablement initiatives to unprecedented heights, in my opinion. So let's talk about what's coming in this first quarter. The first thing I want to start off with is boot camps are back for this year. We do have boot camps throughout this first half. We're kicking things off in February, February 4th and 5th with our Modern Workplace Boot Camp. This will have a lot of the sessions that you've come to know and love, ranging from everything talking about M365 productivity to security, as well as AI with M365 Copilot. But what's really great about these events is if you join one of our boot camps, you know how immersive they are over the course of the 2 days, and we really jam-pack them full of information. One of the things we're trying to do this year is really help you guys out with some follow-up enablement after these types of events. So that way, whether you're in a sales position or a technical position, you're able to deep dive after an event and really get into the nitty-gritty that you want to, that's most important to you. So with that in mind, coming up after our Modern Workplace Bootcamp, we have a few things. The first thing I want to touch on is just our Copilot enablement sessions. I know we're in January. I know Copilot renewals are coming up. These 1 hour webinar sessions around Copilot are really great, not only just for you as a partner to understand how you can use M365 Copilot in your business and how you can train your clients on it, but then also, be able to take that to your clients so that they can start leveraging M365 Copilots and understanding the benefits and how they can reap the rewards that comes from using generative AI in your business. And for all my technical folks, don't worry, we're not left out. We are bringing hands-on labs back again. You'll see in February, we are loaded with some security-focused labs, all coming off of the back of our Modern Workplace Bootcamp. So definitely don't want to miss that, because all of that will go into more depth, go into each one of those features in more depth than we do in our typical 1 hour session that we do have in a boot camp. So if there's anything that you see in a boot camp that you like, just know that there most likely is a hands-on lab that will be happening where you can learn about it in more depth. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our Azure hands-on labs as well. We have these back again. I know I mentioned the Modern Workplace Bootcamp, and we have all of these wonderful Modern Workplace hands-on labs enablement sessions. What's really great is we're front-loading this year with our Azure hands-on labs, and all of that will lead into our Azure Bootcamp that will be happening in March. So highly recommend taking a look at some of those Azure hands-on labs for January and February, just to help you prep up for the upcoming virtual Azure Bootcamp that we have in March, where we'll be going over a lot of those features. And then again, just like Modern Workplace Bootcamp, after the Azure Bootcamp, we'll have a whole slew of hands-on labs that build off of what you learned inside of the bootcamp. So really excited to be able to string along all of these events for our partners, for your employees, so that you have this enablement journey, this learning path to really help you get either upskill to a place where you might not necessarily have that experience. But if you're somebody who's been in the field for a while, it's always nice to have that refresher, see what's new, see what the latest features are inside of the Microsoft stack, because we all know Microsoft is consistently changing and consistently improving their software. With that, I know I talked a lot about our North American events. We also have a whole slew of global events happening. We will have a hands-on lab and enablement sessions for our global region, so stay tuned in our February monthly update for that calendar. But just in the meantime, we have our regular events, launch briefings, cybersecurity masterclasses are coming back in person for this first quarter, so really excited for all of those offerings that we have here. And for all of you out there, I just touching briefly on what we have for this first couple months. If you want to get an idea of what we're running across the next few months, the next 6 months even, highly recommend you go check out pax8.com/events. That's where you will find all of our latest events with the latest agenda, all the latest information, as well as the registration links. So if you're interested in any of these, please know that pax8.com/events will have everything that you need there. But with that, I know I went through our enablement pretty quickly. Didn't want to take up too much time just because I know we have a wonderful session coming from our marketplace here next. But I will be in the Q&A window, so if you have any questions on any of these enablement events, if you're looking for registration links, or if you just want some more information on them, please let me know. I'm more than happy to jump in the chat, answer some questions from you guys. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to pass to Urvashi and Chris here to talk about the quoting feature inside of the marketplace. If we have you on, I'll pass on over.
Right here. Thanks so much, Vandit. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome back to the Pax8 Marketplace segment, your go-to for the latest updates, features, and developments in the Pax8 Marketplace. This is where we spotlight how we're empowering partners like you to serve your customers better. Last year, we were so proud to walk you through the core pillars of our journey of our marketplace. We started with Opportunity Explorer, moved to storefronts, and then wrapped up the journey and the year chatting about quotes. So I'm Urvashi, Product Marketing Manager here at Pax8. And today I'm thrilled to be joined again by the genius behind our quoting tool, Chris, one of our amazing product managers. We received some really positive feedback from our last segment, and partners were eager to hear updates sooner than we thought. So Chris, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be back. Looking forward to this, really looking forward to Spotlight, all the success we're trying to drive for our partners, especially around the feedback they're giving us and how we're trying to react to that.
Amazing. So we'll jump back into some kind of backstory information for those who may have missed last time. So let's jump right in. Chris, you've been with Pax8 for a bit now, but staying true to the trend these days, we love a good origin story. So tell us, what led you to product management and how did Pax8 become part of your journey?
Yeah, I'm originally from Nebraska, graduated in 2007, which, as many of you may remember, wasn't the best time to graduate, especially in Nebraska for jobs. And so I took on a whim, kind of moved out here and fell backwards into a tech role with a mortgage company. Worked my way up there and became a BA there. And then I've just been kind of floating around, honestly, in the banking and fintech area for about 10 years. About 2 years ago, I moved over here to Pax8. Thankfully, missed the mortgage crisis there a little bit, and been here ever since. It's just been fantastic. Pax8's such a fun company to work for. I love working with our MSPs. They have such a good story to tell, and it's so refreshing to work with people that you can see that you're building something and they're genuinely using it to deliver really great things for the end users. I've really enjoyed this journey. It's been incredible.
Yeah, that's really, really fantastic to hear. Such a cool journey. And I know that the work that you've already put into Pax8 here has been instrumental in the future of innovation and the success of the company, as many will see as we kind of dive further into the tool. So we're so glad that your path led you here. So many of you and you yourself, Chris, probably know what I'm going to ask next. But at this point, it's just tradition. So before we jump back into the tool, I've got to ask, what's a product hot take or an unconventional belief you stand by? Our reviewers love these insights.
Yeah, for tech, when you build things, big features in that, it's really important to have, feedback sessions and user research and make sure that there's a value prop before you commit a large amount of money to something. But, I want to really emphasize, I think it's also really important to be agile on feedback that we get from our partners. And if our partners are requesting small changes, small improvements, I don't think we need to necessarily do a bunch of A/B testing, a bunch of user feedback journeys, a bunch of profit loss statements. I think we should just implement those small features that improves everybody's lives as fast as we can and get feedback based on real world. I think giving somebody value like that quickly on something that they're asking for is really important, and it shows value to not just them, but our ability to deliver to that for what they want.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Thank you so much for saying that. And we can definitely relate to that sentiment in product marketing. We love to find a balance as we bring your products to life through product marketing. So much of this user-centric design is a blend of research and data, but also just kind of that intuition that you have once you really understand your users. And in the end, time is of the essence with some of these changes as well. So I definitely think that can be a hot take, but it's so important to show product teams that they should feel empowered and make judgment calls when the time or scope of the change calls for it. So let's get started on the fun stuff and get a look at the quoting tool again as we continue through the rest of our chat.
Yeah. So over the last year and a half now, Pax8 has re-energized and refocused on our ability to deliver a sales solution to our partners that allows them to sell better, faster, quicker with Pax8. This is something that is if you have access to our Pax8 systems, you have access to this. We don't upcharge for this at all. And the first page you see on our homepage, you can navigate to it by clicking active quotes. This will be 0 if you've never made them, or if you have active quotes that are in progress, it'll be a number. The other way to get here is under sell and quoting in the NME. At the top, we have some quick metrics so that you kind of know the success you're getting out of this. Down here, we have some, what quotes are open, what the statuses are, so you kind of know what's going on with them. And then, you maybe want to go over here and set up some basic things that you want to have for when you create a quote, and how you want that to look and what information, so how long you want it to expire in that. One of the key things we wanted to do here is also to show value by giving you quick outcomes, so you can duplicate a quote. If this quote, for example, got accepted, you could not even have to go into quote. You can send it to checkout, which will create a cart with any Pax8 products in it, or any custom products or solutions. Any of that will create a cart out of this. And then you can check out for that customer and immediately get those products out the door. You can download a PDF to share it that way too. Without further ado, let's make a quick quote. So I want to make a quote. One of the things that we did with Pax8 and this iteration of our quoting tool, our old one honestly had to go away. We didn't even build off of it. This is all a brand new build. The old one was based off of a kind of a custom pricing logic. And in this, we wanted to make sure that we're always pricing accurately. So everything is shared with our backend across the company. And so that means that you're going to have to link a client, but that client, once you link it, so let's say I'm going to add a demo client here, and I click create, it's going to pull all pricing just like it would if you're creating a cart. All of this pricing should be super accurate now, which is something we really wanted to emphasize when we built this. So you can go here and let's say I want to add a Microsoft product. We'll add business standard. This pricing is going to show up just like it would for that client. You can change this. Every configuration here is just like you would in our standard system. So all of this should work the same now, and which is really exciting for us because it means that we're sharing some functionality across the company. So when we improve something, everybody gets an improvement. But more importantly, at the end of the day, these prices are going to be really accurate for you when you create a price with us and Pax8 and the software we sell. But a
That's
part of
great.
that,
Chris, let me pause you for a second. So we do have a question here that might be applicable to what you're showing. And the question is, will this quoting app be sync with Autotask? Is that something
So-
you'd be able to help us understand?
you're getting a little bit ahead of me.
Okay.
But I will just go into something. So one of the things that we knew was really important for our quoting is that it's not an end state. Our customers need to invoice things. Our customer needs to be able to understand sales and CMS, CRM stuff. And so that with that knowledge, we went ahead and made public APIs available right now, getting ahead of that. And if you go to our documentation, which you can find up here under the little question mark, developer docs, you'll see these new Pax8 public APIs for quoting that you can build API integrations with. This was done first because it's under my team and we can build it quickly and fastly, and then other areas can use it. But this also means that I can use things like Copilot to build a quick integration. You can see up here, I asked Copilot to link to our developer docs over here. And with that link to the developer docs and Copilot, I just asked it to create a quick API integration. I use QuickBooks for an accounting system to link to so you can invoice out, and so I could invoice it. And I threw this over to my developers and they said, you know, it's probably not quite perfect, but it's about 90% of the way there. And most of the things that need to be changed are just like clean up on visuals and things like that. But this gets you almost there. You just need to add some your IDs and things like that. And then you have an integration to QuickBooks. Now, that being said, probably what you really want is how our auto syncs will work with Autotask. That is on the docket this quarter, and I'm kind of getting ahead of us on Avashi on things to come. But I would expect end of Q1, early Q2, we'll have auto syncs to our PSAs as well.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I know we kind of jumped ahead to what's coming next, but thank you so much for that. So I know that one of the core kind of priorities for a lot of our partners is utilizing the marketplace as kind of like a time-saving tool. How does the quoting tool really deliver on that promise?
Yeah, we built in a lot of like cross functionality so that you don't have to do as much. I'm going to actually go, we'll stay right here actually. I'll create a section. I'm going to add a line item. And one of the things that we wanted to do, we know when our partners have to stand up a quote, we may not know all of the quotes. Hell, they may not know all the quotes yet. And so they may not want to build a line item. They may have a one-off instance. So let's say you're having a server that you need to stand up, server, Dell, Exchange, and you don't plan on selling this a lot. Oops, I did this wrong. Server, Dell, Exchange. And I'll put a product SKU of like 111, 2, 3, and we'll say our effective date. We'll say this is a one-time. So you're buying the server one time, and you know the price of it is $1,000 to you. You're going to resell it for $1,200, but in your head, too many zeros. In your head, this is something that you don't want to sell a lot of, if at all. So this is a one-time thing you're setting up. So I'm going to just quickly save, and now we have this. Here's a line item. This didn't get added to your catalog. This is not a part of a custom product or a custom solution or any of that. This is a one-time thing associated with this quote. It'll still be in our public APIs. You'd still be able to pull this into your invoicing, still be able to present this as a quote, but now you just quickly added a line item without having to do all of that extra steps. If you go to, I'm going to quickly move this to just accepted and move this to checkout. Let me just give that a second to refresh. Of course, nothing ever works live. Oh no.
Great.
Should not have done this live.
All good. We've seen some really cool stuff so far, so.
Okay, well, so the outcome of this that we wanted, I'm not going to be able to log out and do this, is that custom line item that would happen, here's a ProServe one, would be able to not be able to make it into our cart because it's a one-time thing. But what you'd see in that is we'd give you a little pop-up that says, would you like to convert this to a custom product? If it does, it'll go over to your custom products in your catalog. You'd be able to add it quickly to that, and then it would be repeatable. But it allows you to stand up a quote quickly and easily without all of that overhead.
I love it.
One of the things also that we did that we wanted to showcase over from last time, and I kind of mentioned this last time, but we didn't want to always make our clients have to do a bunch of overhead by downloading a quote, putting it into like a e-signature thing. We wanted to kind of model this off of some of the industry's practices nowadays. The e-signature look is nice to have, but ultimately at the end of the day, we need metadata associated with it. So nowadays, when you click accept on our quotes that are shared with our partners, they'll say, get this, give me your full name. By checking this, you're accepting our terms and conditions, and hit accept. And then at the top here, you'll see we have our accepted date and by who. And then if I'm smart about this, this is because I'm trying to span, I'm trying to convince the system that I'm also not a user, but I'm also a demo at the same time, unfortunately, folks.
All good, all good. So yeah, just I guess, one of the things that I noticed too, while we see if we can get the demo back up and working, but I noticed something, custom products, and I noticed also that like so much of the user feedback has gone into the design of this. So tell us a little bit about custom products and like how that plays into quoting here.
Yeah, so custom products are, it's supposed to be all of the things that we can do to tie out together. So custom products are the ability to add something to your catalog that Pax8 doesn't support. So you can see down here, I actually have a custom product in here, which is the ProServe one time. Demos back up. Let's move this over here so you guys can see it actually. And if you go over here under customer products, I have this one-time charge. Go in here. I see our rate plan. I'm charging something. I have pricing set up. There's not a ton here, but provisioning, you're getting email about it. And this way, don't pay attention to my keeper. You can then add this to a quote here. And we have some badging down here. Let's add this to add to the quote. Nova one time. And let's say I have this server that I'm going to set up on site. And I want a one-time charge here. And Pax8 is not facilitating your labor. So you want to represent that though. And it's going to take you 20 hours to come on site one time. Hit save and close. And now I can not only sell this server, but also the cost that server is going to cost to set up on site for them on-prem, which is really important. I'm going to get back out of here just to, now that I can button some things up and go over here and I accepted this quote. You see the metadata up here associated with this. So you know who on your client's end accepted this, their email, their IP address, which I thought was really important to show, like this is a real person. This is exactly where it came from.
Yeah, that's
down
super
here,
helpful.
We can see all of this that got sold. I'm going to really quickly, now that I can check out without my thing, I can show you those custom products that I just was talking about and how I can add them quickly to custom products. These were one-time things that I quickly added. The other thing that's in here is, so you're selling to a client and this is going to a client's cart, but you need to represent in a quote products that get sold to you directly. So S1's an example of this. So here I can select a couple of options to how to represent S1. Flat monthly and that. One of the feedback items that I really want to hit on is that we're iterating on feedback right now to try to improve this. So please make sure you're telling us what you think is missing or what could be better for you. I changed this to quantity varies. Before we only had the top two. And the outcome of this was a client said, hey, if you go to pricing, a common thing is that we actually know what pricing tier they're going to go to. So we actually want to represent the pricing and say that we know the pricing. So I have the cost in that representing out of that pricing. And instead what flexes the quantity. And so they can flex the quantity, say, like, we think it's going to be 250. I have a note that says this quantity varies month to month. But now you're at least giving them an accurate price that you're going to be selling it to them. And not so much that the quantity is flexing. And so how that looks on here is down here. If we get to S1, you can see that's flexing. This also works for Azure, any other variable pricing metric like that. The other things I really wanted to touch on is we wanted to make this quick and easy so you can have drag and drop to reorder. These sections aren't static. You see wherever these are all drag and drop.
Oh, great.
Other things that we're just introducing, this isn't even live yet. This is to come like literally this week. We know that our partners, you want to sell material with it. So you might want to give them a terms and conditions page that gives a lot more detailed legal information, or you might want to add marketing materials, or you might want to add some descriptions of products. You can drag and drop PDFs at the moment up here. Please give me feedback on if you think there's other file types you'd like to see. That's exactly what we're looking for. But you can drag and drop a PDF here. You can upload up to 10 of these. And then that goes into the quote. And if we go back to this little quote guy, you can see down here, these are here to download. Oops, getting over there. Let's see, I talked about solutions, so I can add a solution to it here. Yeah, I think I'm hitting like kind of everything that we've like started adding to this. We're really kind of viewing this as a complete product to help, partners that, are getting off the ground and don't have a quoting tool, or maybe they have one, but, it's a little not cost effective, and this is a better option. Integrations is something that we're really going to start hammering on a lot. So we're excited for that.
Love it. Yeah, such a game
we're pumped
changer.
for this.
It looks really, really, really good. So before we go any further, we do have a few questions in the Q&A, and I wanted to hit those. I'll try to get to as many as possible, and any that we don't get to, we can respond in the chat itself. But one of the questions is, will quotes reflect the current promos?
Quotes will reflect the current prices that you have access to. So if you are selling, let's say this drop suite or something along those lines, this price is what you have configured for drop suite for this region, this client. So if you're trying to get into a promo, you would just go and work with your CAM or supporting personnel and make sure that gets applied beforehand, and it will reflect that price.
Okay.
Conversely, if you know that you're going to hit a price, this is variable. So you can go in here and say, I actually want to sell this for $92 because I know I'm about to get a promo out of this. And I'm working on getting it, and I just don't have it yet. So you can make that reflection by yourself. None of those prices are set, though. You can make that change, and it'll make the rate plan change in the cart for you, so you don't have to go and stand up a bunch of custom pricing afterwards.
Okay, and that kind of addresses to the second question that we have is, does the quoting app include upgrades of Microsoft software?
Yep. So that was something that last quarter, I actually think we didn't quite have it in time for the last one, but we have a lot of logic in here now. So let's say Teams, SharePoint, I'm trying to think of a good upgrade. Teams audio conference. So let's say I want to add Teams audio conference. I think this requires you to have this Teams naturally in here. It's actually in this solution. So we actually have the logic now in place to say, does this client have this to have the upgrade or add on? And if so, you can schedule it. You can add it in here, and it's going to check if it's in this quote or the client already has it, and then it'll let you purchase it. If it's not going to be allowed, we'll have some messaging that says, this isn't quite, you don't have the right configuration to add this add-on or upgrade at this time. The other thing that I wanted to mention is you kind of hit on another good add-on that we didn't have last time. I don't have this set up for the demo, and I'm kind of afraid to attempt to do it. But we know, like a lot of times there will be a professional service engagement where they're asking you to, like, let's say I want you to expand to my legal department and start supporting them. Part of that might be expanding subscriptions that you already have with that customer. We take into effect the subscriptions that you already have. So let's say you want to add another 20 seats to that subscription. You can literally add that subscription here, add the 20 seats, and then when you go to checkout, it's going to upgrade that subscription with the 20 subscriptions based on the date that you configure on your effective date. So it's just like a scheduled order on that subscription. You can take it into effect within our quotes now.
Great. Awesome. We'll go through a couple more. So will QB be part of the integration list, or will it only have the API option?
At the moment, the API options eventually, that's that end of Q1, beginning of Q2. We're thinking the sync will be ready then. That it's a different team than mine, so I can't quite commit to anything, but it is on their roadmap, and they are effectively doing discovery right now on how to implement that with our PSAs.
Right. And then can we export these quotes to quoting tools such as QuoteWorks?
That would be through the public APIs if you wanted to
Okay.
integrate a third-party quoting tool with this.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, there's a couple more, and maybe Chris, you can go through and respond to these once we're wrapped up. But I know that you showed us so much stuff that's live now that wasn't live during our last presentation. So we're super excited to hear about that. Any other like new features that you want to highlight on that has changed since we last spoke about quotes?
So the big one is like we did this attachments. This is literally going live this week. But we also know that in attachments, you know, you have repeatable products. You have a little bit more management that maybe you want to put in there that's shared across many people. And so we're going to have a new tab up here called Attachments tab in our main section that we're going to work on building next. And that'll allow you to upload documents that are shared, so you don't have to keep uploading the same document over and over again. You can quickly reattach a document or share it across your org. The other thing, though, that I really want to hit on is, like, I keep hitting this, but we're really hungry for some feedback. So we're going to work on iterating on a lot of feedback that we've gotten so far. And a lot of the feedback that we've gotten so far is around the ability to do a little bit more preferences type work, status type work. So in here, and also on the quoting section, you're going to have a new tab in your quote that'll be called, I'm not quite sure what we landed on. I think it's called preferences still in here. But it's going to be hitting on a couple of like custom things that we want to have happen here. For example, we know now clients would like to have their own quote ID and not our default quote ID. So we'll allow them to put a quote ID if they want of their own. Another one is feedback that we got was a lot of times their salespeople take a percentage of this. It'd be nice if they could put a percentage in here, like let's say 3% of the sale. And then another outcome that they talked about that would be really nice is sometimes our salespeople might flex that percentage down. So they may take 1% to get a deal across the finish line so they could offer a better pricing. So they'll be able to do that. But yeah, we're really like hammering home, like trying to get that feedback, trying to iterate on any feedback. Another one that I expect to go live is, you know, if we go to here, today, like our top section here is a little sparse and they thought it could look a little bit better. So we're going to add a little bit more information based on our partner and client knowledge that we have. Another feedback that we have that we'll be working on hopefully this quarter, that'll stretch probably into next quarter, which is at the moment when you go to create, the client list is only people you already sell to, and you may not want to commingle who you're prospecting with. And so we'll have the ability to have not just clients here, but create a prospect. And that'll be like a pseudo client, so to speak, that you'll be able to start filling out information as you start to work with them and how you start to sell to them. And then once you maybe make that put into an accepted state, you'll be able to convert into a client and it would convert over to a client. That one we're pretty excited for too.
Awesome. Great. And then we had, I don't know if Ashley, you want to provide some input on just the Microsoft promos. I don't know if you're here to kind of touch on that for the team.
Yeah, I think there was a question earlier in the chat around will promotions be presented in the price in the quoting tool. And as Chris said, the quoting tool will show what the current price of the product is. I want to call out that Microsoft promotions run very differently than the promotions of the other vendors we have on the Pax8 line card. And so we display for Microsoft, if a promotion is available on a product, you'll see a little helper text that says promotion available, and then it has the criteria for the promotion. But promotional pricing is 100% completely controlled by Microsoft via API. And we don't control that today. So when you're quoting, you'll see that a promotion is available, but the price itself will still remain the active MSRP that's currently offered. And not until you purchase a product, then will Microsoft adjust the price in our marketplace via API with coding that says SPIF price adjustment. So again, I just want to call out that Microsoft controls eligibility of promotional pricing, and they're the ones that are adjusting the price in our marketplace through their promotion API. If there's any questions about that, happy to answer them in the chat, but I just want to make it clear that Microsoft will look different, and it's just because of the way that Microsoft manages their promotions.
Great.
Thanks, Ashley.
Appreciate that insight, Ashley. Awesome. Well, Chris, as you mentioned multiple times throughout your presentations, partner feedback is essential. So we can't emphasize that enough. Please continue to share any insights that you have, feedback and opportunities for us to continue to iterate on these products. making sure that they are kind of optimal for your use is of top priority to us. So Chris, thank you so much for spending time with us and walking us through the quoting tool again and giving us the behind the scenes look, some updates that have occurred and some teasers of what's to come. It's been such a pleasure to have you on as always, and we love getting the behind the scenes look into all the work our product team is putting into our future of innovation.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here. I'm really always happy to share what we're trying to drive for our partners and interact with them as much as possible.
Awesome. And thank you everyone for watching and listening. Don't forget to check out our quoting tool on the Pax8 Marketplace and let us know your thoughts. Until next time, keep innovating and helping your customers succeed. See you soon.
Wow, what a great session. Thank you so much, all of the presenters. Really jam-packed day today. So love the live demos. I know, hey, live demos don't always go well. So Chris, thanks for hanging with us and doing these live demos, because at the end of the day, I think that really seeing this in real life is super, super impactful. So please keep throwing in your questions as we go. Just a couple of housekeeping. Technically Unraveled, this is a series that I do. We put a little pause on the beginning of the year, but the last one that we did was recapping Microsoft Ignite. So if you have just overarching questions about Microsoft Ignite, we went through and did some of those key things that you are going to want to check out. On the next slide, there's a ton of resources. We go through so much information so quickly. I know we put a lot of things in the chat, but for the recording purposes, I want to make sure that everybody has these links as they are readily available to you all. So feel free to either take a screen snip or it'll be available in a recording later. If you missed anything, do feel free to either check it out in our Academy or on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/pax8cloud. All right, I'm going to take a look and see if there are any questions. So we're not actually going to send out copies of the slides, but feel free to check out the YouTube. We will get that up in the next day or so. I did see that one come through. And then Ashley, if I still have you, I know we had a lot of questions about the promotions, and I know you were in that chat answering them through. Is there anything that we just want to clarify that you saw like a constant, consistent messaging or question about?
Yeah, so just some things that I think are helpful for partners to understand the promotions. The global promo readiness guide that Microsoft puts out each month will have all the T's and C's when it comes to these promotions. So who is eligible, how long is the promotion eligible for, etc. And then just know that if a promotion says net new to the products, that means that they've never purchased that product before on their customer tenant or have purchased a trial of that product. So if they were getting the product from direct Microsoft and then started to work with you, that would make them not eligible. If they've had a trial version of the product, that would also make them not eligible. So it's really important to understand the T's and C's. The one thing that I will highlight though is that Microsoft will say maybe the promotion is valid until June 30th. That just means that the customer has to take possession of the promotion before June 30th. And if they are on an annual commitment, they will actually get that promotional pricing for a full 12 months. So just because it says valid through June 30th does not mean that the pricing ends June 30th. The pricing is valid for a full 12 months if on an annual commitment. So there's just kind of a couple things I want to highlight. The other thing was that I saw in the chat was around Copilot and the IURs and just IURs and incentive rebates in general when it comes to the Microsoft changes to the Cloud Partner Program. So, first things first, Copilot IURs are only available to those partners who have the expanded benefits package, which is the highest benefits package, those IURs will drop for Copilot on January 22nd automatically, or partners who have an eligible solution partner designation, which is the modern workplace designation. Again, those IURs will drop automatically. And then as far as incentives and rebates with the Cloud Partner Program, you will only earn incentives and rebates while you are on silver or gold. Once your silver or gold expires, you will no longer earn incentives and rebates unless you're on a solution partner designation, or if you're the last day, I guess, to earn incentives and rebates is September 30th. So if you are on a for those with silver or gold. So if you are on a silver or gold that renews after September 30th, you actually will be cut off on September 30th and will need to move to a solution designation in order to earn incentives and rebates. I know that was a lot there. Please connect with your account team. They can walk you through these changes. I know for a lot of you who are earning incentives and rebates, it's a really big thing to make sure you understand how to continue to get the payments for the offerings that you sell. But other than that,
Awesome.
Kristen, I think those were all the main things that I was continuing to answer in the chat. So happy to throw it back to you. But thanks for giving me opportunity to further explain.
You got it. I got one more question while I still have you.
Okay.
Because we've got somebody that's asking, is there a way that they can see a list of the renewals that are coming for their clients? And I know that we have a tracker that could be of benefit. So can you talk through that for us?
Yeah, so you can, there's two ways you can do it. You can export all of, if you're looking for all of your subscriptions, you can work with your account team to get a list of those exported from our marketplace. But if you're looking just for what's upcoming from the renewals perspective, Microsoft does have, or sorry, Pax8 does have a Microsoft NCE tracker, which is located in the Microsoft Tools section of the marketplace. And this will show you with everything that's upcoming in the next 30 days. I do want to call out for anybody who is wanting to move subscription types. Just remember that if you are selling an enterprise offer, which is going to be your Office 365 or your Microsoft 365, so your E1 to E365s, if you do change commitment type, you will be subject to lose your Teams licensing due to the Microsoft unbundling of Teams. We didn't cover that today, but we've covered it in previous sessions. And so just know, be mindful if you're moving your subscription types around, you could be subject to lose that. Business is not impacted. So if you're on your premium, standard, or basic, you are exempt from that and you'll remain bundled with Teams. But those who are on the enterprise versions will need to be mindful of when moving subscription types. I see somebody put in the chat the Microsoft Tools section in the Pax8 Marketplace. So yes, there is like a Microsoft Tools area, which has it was the GDAP tracker and then the NCE tracker. So those are two special offerings that we provide in our marketplace under the Microsoft section in the tools area.
Excellent, excellent. Ashley, thank you so much. I know that we always hit you with a lot of questions, so thank you for staying around. There's a few more in the chat, which are kind of specific to the people asking questions, so we will answer those individually. But I want to say thank you so much for joining our first Microsoft Monthly Update of 2025, and we will see you all soon. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a good day.